No, you're not about to get away with that. No, you're just not about to fling Zach Bond and Cooper DeJean off like they some little old ladybugs and think I'm about to let you slide. Hell no. Hell no. So what I'm doing right now, I'm doing my research, gather my intel, trying to get back to Coach Sirianni and the defense and whatnot, all them boys, so they can readjust, because that was embarrassing. I'm still not over. I'm still in disbelief. I can't believe it. Who are you? Scat Pack, who are you? What are you about? What sparked the CTE speed run, huh? What are you about? I gotta find out. Let me type in.
Supposed to be here. He was a zero.
How a player that was too unathletic became an NFL star. Come on, let's go.
No FBS offers, no hype, no spotlight. Just a kid from Northern California that no team wanted. But
Ridiculous.
even after a record-breaking college career, every single NFL team.
Why do you play the way you play?
Not once, not twice.
Where did this stem from?
Multiple times. Why? Well, to find out, we have to go back to where it all started. Before Cam Skattebo was breaking tackles in the NFL, he was breaking his parents' sanity. As a toddler, Skattebo earned the nickname Houdini because he would escape from every single car seat his parents bought. But escaping car seats, that was nothing compared to what came next. As he got older, Cam put on his big brother's shoulder.
It stems from that. That mohawk right there, that's where it stems from. Just looking at him, I could just see it on him. He used to wear hella DC shoes and drink Bear Monsters. I can see it on him. That boy been a menace.
Pads and run full speed into
been a menace.
Holes. So it's no surprise that by the time he got to high school, he was doing the same thing to defenders, just with a football in his hands. As a junior, Skattebo put up numbers that didn't even look real. He rushed for 3,550 yards and 42 touchdowns on just 305 carries. That's an absurd 50. Skattebo put up numbers that didn't even look real. He rushed for 3,550 yards.
All right, everybody looks slow and fat compared to him. And like his height, he's like what, 5'10", 5'9", my height type shit.
And he's on just 305 carries.
He's doing that though, like that's a big nigga.
50 yards and 42 touchdowns.
That's
on
still
just
a big nigga. Oh my
carries.
god.
That's an absurd 11.6 yards per carry. Basically a first down every time he touched the ball. And he wasn't just stuffing the stat sheet. That season, he carried his team all the way to a state championship. So naturally, every major program in the country was lining up to offer him a scholarship, right? Wrong. Despite the insane production, recruiting analysts gave Cam Skattebo a grand total of 0 stars.
Damn.
That's right, he was a 0-star recruit. Why? Well, for starters, Cam didn't fit the prototype that college coaches dream about. At just 5'9", scouts saw a back who was too small, too slow, and not athletic enough to dominate at the next level. And since he wasn't going up...
Nah, 0 stars is crazy, though. Especially in Cali with them numbers. Like, at some point, like, you can't overlook that, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, if you a dog, you a dog. It evidently shows here with this brother right here.
California powerhouses, they dismissed
Still
him
doing
as a
it
small
despite
school
all
stat
that.
matter, a mistake they'd soon regret. Cam Skattebo didn't receive a single offer from an FBS program. His only Division I offer came from a local FCS school, Sacramento State. It wasn't the dream, but it was a chance, so Skattebo took it and didn't look back. When Cam arrived at Sacramento State in 2020, the season was canceled due to COVID, so he had to wait an entire year to prove himself. Finally, in 2021, he got his shot. As a freshman, Skattebo rushed for 520 yards and 6 touchdowns on just 57. As a freshman, Skattebo rushed for 520 yards and 6.
I ain't gonna lie, he gotta go, bro. He has to go. Why are you doing that to grown men, brother? Huh? Why are you doing that to grown men? Still gonna be a
on just
problem,
57
dog.
carries. That's 9.1 yards per carry. He earned 3rd-team All-Big Sky honors, and people started to notice. Maybe this kid from Rio Linda was for real. But 2022 is when everything changed. That season, Skattebo became the engine of Sacramento State's offense. He rushed for 1,382 yards and 7 touchdowns, while also catching 31 passes for 371 yards and 3 more scores. He wasn't just good, he was dominant. it. The Hornets went 11-0 in the regular season and climbed to number 2 in the FCS rankings. Scadaboo was named Big Sky Offensive Player of the Year, and suddenly, the zero-star recruit who nobody wanted...
He really got a trunk of steel. How much does he squat? How much do you bench? Like, damn. That boy is strong as hell. How does he just stay up like that?
He's one of the best players in all of FCS football. But here's where it gets interesting. In December, after Sacramento State lost in the FCS playoffs, Scadaboo entered the transfer portal. He knew he could play at a higher level.
Looking like Genty out there.
FBS programs believed in him. Scadaboo landed at Arizona State, where new head coach Kenny Dillingham had just taken over. 2023 was a rebuilding year. ASU won just 3 games. Scadaboo rushed for 783 yards and 9 touchdowns on 164 carries. Solid numbers, but nothing that turned heads nationally. After that season, Dillingham sat down with him and laid it out. If you want to play in the NFL, here's what needs to change. Here's where you need to improve. Scadaboo didn't argue. He listened, then went to work that offseason and transformed himself. And when the 2024 season kicked off, the results were immediate. Week 2 against Mississippi
That's when I found out about him.
Scadaboo racked up 262 rushing yards on 33 carries. Even crazier, 155 of those yards came after contact. That alone was more than what all but 7 players in the country had in total rushing yards that week. A few weeks later, against Oklahoma State, he did it again. Over 270 total yards from scrimmage and 3 touchdowns.
Hey, one thing about that hard work, one thing about that hard work, it's always going to be talent when talent fails to work hard.
So instead of running into telephone poles, he was banging his head into brick walls. By the end of the regular season, running into 10 yards from scrimmage and 3 touchdowns. And at ASU, instead of running into telephone poles, he was banging his head into...
I ain't gonna lie, I think the damage might already be done. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, give it about 3 to 4 years, that nigga brain go like mashed potatoes. No cap. I mean, brother, you're a madman. What are you doing? What are you doing?
At the end of the regular season, Scadaboo's numbers were staggering. 1,711 rushing yards, shattering Arizona State's single-season record and making all of college football. 21 rushing touchdowns, 605 receiving yards, and over 2,300 yards from scrimmage. He finished 5th in Heisman voting, behind only Travis Hunter, Ashton Genty, Dylan Gabriel, and Cam Ward. And then came the Big 12 championship game. Against Iowa State, Scadaboo rushed for...
No cap, completely off topic.
Travis Hunter, Ashton Genty...
We took last year completely for granted, bro, doing all this bickering about Travis and Genty, bro. Like, this year... Who the hell is about to get Heisman, gang? Like, the QB play has been off. We don't see no great running backs. Like, who's about to get that motherfucker, bro? That top 5 was something serious. Gabriel's going off. Cam Ward. Nah, why you looking at niggas like that? Travis, Ashton, and then Cam. Damn,
Gabriel and Cam Ward. And then came the Big 12 championship game. Against Iowa State,
legacy game right here.
Scadaboo rushed for 170 yards.
They should have won this. Oh, no. I'm thinking...
Was named the game's MVP.
I'm thinking it's the playoff game. My fault.
Was still waiting. Also, guys, I want to thank the sponsor of
I was still a legacy game, actually.
Arena Club. I'm using Arena Club to build my sports card collection, and you should too. Their slab packs are one of the times the price. Every card. The Sun Devils were 13.5-point underdogs against the Texas defense that had allowed just 15 points per game all season, the 3rd best mark in the country. Early on, it looked like the doubters were right. Texas was up 24-8 midway through the 4th quarter. And to make matters even worse, cameras caught Scadaboo vomiting profusely on the sideline. He looked completely gassed. Absolutely.
They deserve to win. I ain't gonna hold you.
But what happened next will go down in college football history. On 4th and 2, with just over 6 minutes left, Arizona State called a trick play. Scadaboo took the pitch, rolled to his right, and launched a perfect 42-yard touchdown pass. On the next drive, Scadaboo hauled in a pass for a 62-yard gain, which set up a short touchdown run by, you guessed it, Cam Scadaboo. And of course, he ran the 2-point conversion in himself, tying the game 24-24 with 5 minutes left.
For a bruiser like him, gang, he's doing a lot. Throwing passes. He's fake kind of shifty too. Like, that brother's a playmaker. No cap. I feel like that kind of separate him from other big and stocky backs like him.
Texas had 2 chances to win in regulation, but their kicker missed both.
Bruiser
field
backs
goals.
like him.
So to overtime they went. In the first OT, Scadaboo powered in from 3 yards out to give ASU their first lead of the game. But Texas answered with a touchdown of their own to force double overtime. On Arizona State's possession in the second OT, they couldn't punch it in. Texas got the ball back and scored to win it 39-31. But Cam Scadaboo, he had just put together one of the greatest performances in college football playoff history. His final stat line, 143 rushing yards, 99 receiving yards, 42 passing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, 1 passing touchdown. That's 284 total yards and 3 total scores. He was named the Peach Bowl's offensive MVP, the first player from a losing team to win the award in 26 years. Coming into the 2025 NFL Draft, Cam Scadaboo's stock was all over the place. At the combine, he skipped everything except the vertical and broad jump drills. Then, at Arizona State's Pro Day, he ran a 4.65 in the 40-yard dash, a time that would have ranked dead last among all running backs at the combine. The doubts came flooding back louder than ever. Just like in high school, the scouts looked at the measurables and dismissed everything else. The pre-draft reports read like carbon copies of his high school recruiting profile. Too slow to break away from NFL linebackers, not explosive enough to create in space, lacks the burst to hit the hole at the next level. He's a college star who won't translate. Mock drafts had him going anywhere from the 2nd to 7th round. Then, draft day arrived and Scadaboo watched and waited. The first round came and went. No call. Second round, still nothing. Third round passed and his phone was still silent. Team after team passed on him. Not once, not twice, but over and over again. 7 other running backs were drafted before him. Then finally, with the 105th overall pick in the 4th round, the New York Giants took a chance and drafted Cam Scadaboo. When Scadaboo got to New York, he immediately found a kindred spirit. The Giants' first round pick, quarterback Jackson Dart. When the two first met at the Giants facility, they said like 3 words to each other, then butted heads. It was a match made in heaven. The very
telling you,
first
bro,
snap of
by the time that nigga 35 game, when people ask him his name, he's gonna say oatmeal. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, bro, like, this man is crazy.
Scadaboo's NFL career told you everything. He didn't get the ball, but he didn't need to.
Keep playing with his head.
And Scadaboo went full throttle into a blitzing defender, laying out a vicious block. Right here. One play, and you could already tell this guy ran into telephone poles as a kid. Just a few plays later, he touched the ball for the first time and viciously knocked over 2 defenders. The following week versus the Cowboys, Scadaboo got more playing time. He carried the ball 13 times for 53 yards and scored his first NFL touchdown. Not the craziest stat line, but it was a start. In week 3, Scadaboo was once again supposed to split snaps with the Giants starting running back Tyrone Tracy. But then, in the first quarter of that matchup, Tracy left with a shoulder injury that would sideline him for multiple weeks. Suddenly, Scadaboo was the guy, and he didn't flinch. In that matchup versus the Chiefs, Scadaboo carried the ball 10 times for 60 yards and a touchdown, while also catching 6 passes for an additional 61 yards. The Giants still lost, but Scadaboo was passes for an additional 61 yards. The Giants still lost.
Head first, twin. And I understand, like, the play style, him running hard, that's basically what got him here. Like, that's who he is at this point. That's what separates him, but dog, bro. I wish him a long and healthy career, but it's just not very sustainable, bro.
Scadaboo was a main reason why the game stayed close. Week 4, the Giants versus the undefeated Los Angeles Chargers. Scadaboo was getting his first NFL start, and right beside him, his buddy Jackson Dart, making his debut as the team's starting quarterback. 2 rookies' first starts against an undefeated team, and they took over. Scadaboo and Dart led the Giants to their first win of the season, and suddenly New York was
they were going crazy.
The future looked bright. The vibes were immaculate.
Can't even lie.
But the very
and like,
next
bruh, he's a football player's football player. Like, he's the type of football player you want on your favorite team. Like, the energy, he play hard, he brings it every single play. Why wouldn't I want that nigga on my team? He's just an op. That's all it is. He is an op. That's all it is, bro. As a football player, I love everything about him. He just on the
Everything
midgets.
fell apart. Fourth quarter versus the winless Saints. Scadaboo has the ball in the red zone, driving for what could have been the game-winning score. And then he fumbled. The Saints scooped it up and took it the other way for a touchdown that sealed their victory. The Giants dropped to 1-4, and Scadaboo felt like he was the reason why. After the game, he tweeted out, "Sorry, Giants fans. I will be better
I
for
love
y'all."
stuff like that, bro. I ain't gonna hold
4
you.
days later, Thursday
love
Night
shit like that.
Football against their division rival, the Philadelphia Eagles. And this wasn't just any game against Philly. This was the team that now had Saquon Barkley, the Giants' former star running back who left in a drama-filled offseason departure. The stage was set, the storylines were perfect, and Cam Scadaboo, he didn't just bounce back. He stole the show. 19 carries for 98 yards and 3 touchdowns. The kid who was too slow, too unathletic, not good enough, he just embarrassed the defending Super Bowl
Alright,
champions.
my nigga.
on
You see, you
national
dragging it.
television.
You dragging it. You dragging it with this embarrassing word. Relax. Relax, bro.
Here's what they could
Enough with the
never
glaze.
measure at the combine. His
Calm it
refusal
down,
to
alright?
quit. His ability to get back up.
So you had a good
His
game and leave it at
willingness to
that?
run straight into a wall, literally, if that's what it took. Cam Scadaboo didn't need elite measurables. He just needed a chance. And every single time someone gave him one, he made them regret ever doubting him in the first place. Also, did you know scouts literally laughed in a player's face at the combine because of his measurables? Yeah, that player was Darren Sproles, the shortest player in the NFL at the time.
Shout out Darren
and he
Sproles,
went on to
ex-Eagle.
break tons of records. If you want to hear his insanely inspiring story, check out this video up here.
Nah, bro. At that point, too, like, bump all the measurables. No cap. Like, we've seen it translate before from high school to college. Like, he's proving folks wrong. Every time he's took the leap, he's done it time and time again. I gotta respect it to him. I got to. The only thing, he's just an op. He is an op. I don't want to. Why? No. No.